we had to pay some bills, so we went on a break, but we're back, and the segment, of course, is E-Talk, and today we are talking about the lucrative business of styling. It's personal styling. We are talking to none other than a personal stylist, a fashion stylist for that matter, and his name is Yobi. Yobi, karibu sana kwa show.
Asante sana.
Ukoaje?
Niko poa.
Uko tu sawa?
Niko fiti.
Unakaa tu venye unakaa.
Unajisikia hivyo.
Vibe personal. How's everything?
Everything is good.
Everything's good?
Yeah.
Alright, be alive kidogo, yani changamka kidogo.
Nimechangamka kama nisimame niruke.
Hapana, nasema tuchangamka tu kidogo. But anyway, let's move on straight to the conversation, and then we can pick it up from, wherever itatupeleka. Maybe tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, so Yobi is a young stylist in Kenya. Actually one of the best stylists right now.
I can see that.
In Nairobi. I'm just me. Let me just say that.
Right.
Like I just love looking good.
Yeah.
And making people look good.
That's true. I can see that. I mean, so maybe the first question that I would ask you, like, what does it take? What exactly is like a fashion stylist? What work does a fashion stylist do?
A fashion stylist makes sure the clients look good. This person can be also a designer or works with designers, different designers, to style their outfits and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a difference between a fashion stylist and a designer. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And maybe we're going to talk about the different types of, fashion elements later on within this conversation. But what does it take to be a successful fashion stylist? Yani, kukua tu successful right now, as you're saying that you are one of the best stylists right now. Obviously, also I know a couple of stylists, Ojwa Styling, and then there's you, Yobi, and a couple of other guys. What does it take to be successful? Yani wewe sasa watu wanakuita Yobi.
Just be creative. Being creative, that's the most important thing as a stylist. Don't do things because people are doing. Just be you.
Right. And being creative, I mean, is it inborn? Do you learn as you go? Do you learn the work that you do?
Actually, you can try by doing more research from different people, different designs. Like you just look things from different perspectives and create something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I like that you've said that, because your line of work, requires you to be up to date. Yani, wewe na ma trends, na ma fashion. Do you find yourself sometimes, una conflict? You're conflicting with your own sense of style when it comes to clients. Maybe you want, you have this type of thought with your fashion sense. Now, wewe mwingine akona yani yake. So, joining them and merging them. Do you sometimes, conflict?
Not really. Luckily enough, I found people who understand what I do.
Yeah.
And when they come to my work,
they trust the process.
And be like, Yobi, you just do your thing. Let me look good. Yeah.
All right. So, I want to ask, buying and wearing Kenyan outfits is easier nowadays, because we're seeing more Kenyan brands. There's Zia Africa, Chris Njoki, Nancy Mwai. I mean, has that been, for a stylist, easier for you? Especially because now you've said it is about knowing trends, making sure that you're always connecting with the designers, making sure that you're always, on the top. Kama tuseme sahi, kuna fashion show ya Louis V, wewe, hata kama ni kustream, kazi yako. Has it made it easier for you, with having Kenyan brands? Ama do you think we still have a long way to go as Kenyan in the, in the styling industry?
I think in the styling industry, for the Kenyan brands, if we decide to work together more, we'll reach where we really want to reach.
Right.
But for now, we still have a long way to go.
Really? In terms of what?
In terms of the kind of outfits we make. Most of our brands in Kenya, we are copy pasting.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's the creativity aspect of it all.
Yeah, because you see this one brand, they're making t-shirts and hoodies. Okay, you start your brand, you want to make t-shirts and hoodies.
Right. And I mean, like, you find people who want high fashion.
Exactly.
There
are people who want high fashion. There are people who are corporate people.
Right.
Like, you have to look in all different directions for different clienteles.
Right. So, I mean, tell us, by list of names, some of the people that you've worked with and your most exciting projects.
The most exciting projects. Okay, let me start with my favorite project. It happened on my birthday, actually. I worked with Alikiba and Tommy Flavor.
And what outfit did you make for them?
They were doing a gospel song, so it needed them to be
Alikiba alikuwa anafanya gospel song?
something of the sort.
Okay.
But it's not yet out. They were doing with Tommy Flavor. That was the best job that I think I've ever done.
Uliwavalisha nini?
All white.
Ilikuwa all white?
Yeah.
And by the way, I'd like to ask, how do you then come up with sequences and palettes and pastels? How do you come up with that inspiration?
I pray a lot.
Really?
Yeah, so I think God helps me out big time. Then my researches, Pinterest. I'm a type of person who will sit around, we'll be talking, I'll be watching a movie, and then all of a sudden I zone
go
off.
into a trance. Really?
I'm looking for outfits.
And that actually happens to a lot of creatives, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Right? I mean, being a stylist also demands that you have a lot of exposure. What can you tell us what have you been exposed to? I mean, I could talk about the fashion, the list is endless. There's Italy, there's Paris, there's New York, there's Japan, Tokyo, there's Swahili Fashion Week in Zanzibar, in Tanzania. What has been your exposure so far?
I haven't had much of an exposure, but the kind of things I watch, I think they expose me a lot to the kind of fashion I want, the kind of things I want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So being a fashion stylist also demands that you're always in the field, in the runway, in workshops, you know, in industry events, even, you know, brand showrooms. But all has changed due to COVID-19, and people had to rebrand, not even rebrand, people had to pivot their ideas. Now that people were selling shop, like Zia was here a couple of weeks ago, and she was talking about how she just started a shop. Na venye alianza hiyo shop, sasa COVID ikaingia, and we had to go back to square one, thinking about how we're going to start selling these clothes, because though you know, like people have messed with money. COVID had messed with a lot of things. How has it been for you, you know, in this whole COVID-19 period, now that hakuna fashion show, hakuna nini?
It had been really hard. Even me getting into the celebrity world, styling celebrities and everything, it was all thanks to my favorite person, my boss actually, who I work under most of the time.
Right.
She's called Ruth Odhiambo. She's one of the best stylists too around.
Right.
And she's the one who's been like my support system since.
All right.
Yeah.
You didn't actually tell us how many people you worked with. You just said Alikiba, but you did not tell us how many people you worked with.
I've worked with Alikiba, Red Sun, Calligraph Jones.
Calligraph Jones?
Yes, alivaa suti safi tu.
Wacha. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I would really like to know. Fena Gitu.
Madini Classic, Trio Mio. There are different numbers.
All right. So now you had talked about fashion design. I'd like to know, what's the difference between a personal shopper, a fashion stylist, a fashion designer, a fashion editor? Okay, it wasn't a stylist. It wasn't a stylist.
A fashion stylist is someone who will come to your wardrobe and use your stuff, or comes up with an outfit from different designers to style you, for you to look good. Like, and can use the same things you have to make a different outfit that you never thought of. Yeah.
And a fashion designer?
Fashion designer is someone who creates outfits from scratch to make it his own.
And a personal shopper?
Is someone you just, I think, you send to shop for you or something.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So they don't usually come and also like dress you. A personal shopper could actually anakuendea anakununulia the things.
Yeah, a personal shopper can work as both.
Yeah, and now pick the outfits that
and combine them
match.
for you, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And what about a fashion editor?
I'm not well aware.
Okay. Well, I read somewhere that there's a difference between fashion stylist and fashion editor because mostly a fashion stylist, unajua, like anakuaga hapo kwa mapicha, you know, looking for different colors, different pastels. Alafu tena pia editor is always looking for, you know, the things that will suit what photograph, and so they kind of work hand in hand.
Exactly.
Right.
But actually, like something like the same thing or something.
They're kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so tell us by means of examples what your most exciting times throughout your career. I don't know, how many years have you been doing it actually?
5 years now.
5 years now. Yeah. Tell us your most exciting times within your career.
My most exciting time, there's this one time I was telling someone, which I won't mention. We were going for a set at the river. We got stuck. We got stuck in mud, right? So we're already dressed, so you have to come out of the van with the same outfits.
All white?
No. Just simple outfits. But now you have to come and try push this car. Ndo muendelee na kazi. Then the outfits that you had already worn and you're just wearing one set, they're all muddy. So
how was that for you? Ulienda hiyo event? Ulirudi?
So you just have to go back.
Guy,
bring outfits for the artists.
Hiyo ilikuwa lini? Kulikuwa na jam hizo siku? Traffic jam Mombasa Road. Mombasa
Road ilikuwa stuck. Ilikuwa ile challenges ukianza sasa mtu msanii asha jam. Sasa nimechafuka nitafanya relax nitasort.
Mulirudi mkarudi tena?
Nilichukua bike nikarudi mpaka mtaani. Tukatafuta tukaingia Gmall. Trace 1 2 3. Shikanisha pelekea asikie poa.
How was that for you?
It was hard because nilikuwa naanza like I don't want to disappoint my client. But it's not my fault at the same time, so they just have to be patient with me. But I delivered.
That was exciting for you. So what about the challenges?
Actually, I love when I'm challenged. It excites me because I feel when work is too easy, it doesn't hit me as when it's very challenging. You find you're making an outfit, you're ironing it to that, you're in a rush, going to Chomeka, go like, okay, wow, so what do I do? I don't have an extra cloth. Think. So when I'm in such situations, I feel excited.
Right.
Like how I'll come out of it makes me feel I've grown.
You've grown.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, like what you're talking about, then have you ever felt like me job sasa nimechoka nayo, mi hata staki stories za hizi job tena?
Yeah. Umeenda shoot, maybe umestyle mtu, after all this drama from the shoot, the guy doesn't pay you.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. So you have to know how to handle your...
Ule mse wa trio mi.
Nah. Misi anikanangi. Because I always understand everybody. Love time ya COVID, kila mtu amekuwa na issues.
Yeah.
So a long time unajua tu ku handle your clients.
Yeah.
Unasema, okay. Labda pia yako pabaya.
Right.
You just try and understand them.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, unapata they come back and tell you, hey bro, I did this and this, I'm really sorry. This is your cash.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay.
Okay, so they usually come back.
Yeah, sometimes, because if you're doing something good, they'll always come back.
Yeah.
And if they come back, they'll have to pay up for the last mess.
And that's really good that you're saying in this business, in this stylist business, it's very important to keep your connections, right?
Exactly.
Who are the people that you think that you are most fortunate to work with, business-wise? Because I mean, being a stylist, a businessman going for a business occasion, a lawyer going for a court, a court ruling, or a celebrity who is going for the red carpet. All these people are brought into one, and you actually have styled a couple of people. So I mean, who are, if you don't mind telling us, who are the best clients that you've worked with, apart from Ali Kiba?
Best clients? I have presenter Ali. These are the one of them. These are people who became friends from away from the working and area and everything. We became close as friends. Presenter Ali, this Fena.
Fena.
Yeah.
How's Fena as a person, by the way?
Brilliant. Brilliant.
As a business associate as well?
She's tough though, but you know, if
With her style.
yeah, if you're doing things correct, you won't cross paths.
Yeah.
But if you mess kidogo,
And that's what you actually want as a personal stylist. Yeah, kulamba kila saa kuambiwa, you
exactly.
know what, yeah.
And funny enough, I love when I'm being criticized because I learn from that mistake and make it better.
Right.
Yeah.
So one last question before probably we go. You know, so many people out there, Kenyans.
Yeah.
This is a two-in-one. Maybe we could start by the parent aspect of styling. First of all, maybe you could give us your experience about how your mom, you know, received the news that you wanted to become a stylist. You know.
So funny enough, huh? My mom never thought I would do anything like this. My mom hey, my mom is a reverend.
Where? I didn't expect that.
So, my mom knew I loved music and everything.
So she thought you were going to be in the choir?
I'm going to sing or something.
Yeah.
She thought maybe my boy is going to act because in
gospel artist.
School I was all that.
You'll be gospel artist.
So I told her, hey mom, I want to be a journalist. After high school, she was like, oh, you want to be a journalist? Okay, which school are you going to go? Hey mom, I don't know, but I want to be a journalist. They decided we'll go to mass. Okay. I reached there first month. I just told her, mom, I don't want to do this.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Jeez.
She was like, what do you want to do? I want to sell clothes. Like, are you serious?
Uliza mtumba ama
no, it's like clothes. Hiyo ni maisha yako, nimekuachilia.
Unajua mama yako anakuambia hiyo ni maisha yako, sasa ndio anakuanga amekuachilia kabisa.
So nikaanza tu hiyo, nikaanza kutembea, nikiingia Gikomba naangalia, naingia na 50 bob nasema leo ndakwenda kutafuta mashati because nilikuwa nauzianga watu shule hadi shati. So I think ni kitu nilikuwa tu na sikuwa nimeikubali. Natafuta nguo nasema hii nguo naweza piga look. Like nilikuwa nikidress up nikienda mali. So I went nikaenda hadi auditions za music kwanza before ni decide hii si yangu tayari. So nikaenda Sauti Academy. So niki audition nikaulizwa Yobi so you can be a designer. When I was before even I auditioned, I love your style. Why don't you think of styling or being a designer? I'm like, so what has she seen that I haven't seen? She told me, please try and think about it. At the long run, I met a band called L'Afrique. These guys just came to me and like, hey bro, we just love how you dress. Can you be styling us? I'm like, I've never styled anyone. Yeah. Honestly, I've never styled anyone. So me styling you guys, I'll be lying. But you know, just try. And that's how I found myself here.
Really? Yeah. Okay, so question B. What would you tell a parent who has a child who is a creative like you? Because I feel like the Kenyan scene or Kenyan society does not really accept creatives like those. Wewe ukiambia sasa mama yako sasa unataka kuwa mimlord anaweza kuambia nini? Unaelewa? So I mean Kenyan society hasn't really accepted fashion and styling as a career, and I'm saying this because I mean if you go to the States or if you go to the UK, you'll find universities that are actually you get a degree in fashion. Bado kama wa Kenya tujafika hapo. So what would you tell a parent who has a child who is a creative, right, and wants to be a fashion stylist or a fashion designer or a fashion editor or even the one that I talked about, a personal shopper? What will you tell a parent like that who's in denial like you at first?
Just be patient with your creative child or something, because with creativity it takes time, but once it's opened up, you're gonna be excited too as a parent, because it takes really much time for you to be where you are or be who you want to be. Like you'll start, you'll fall, you'll rise, you'll fall, you'll rise, then you come back down. So just be patient with your creatives. Yeah.
And what about those guys who are actually looking at you and they're like, oh my god, this guy has nice style, and they also have nice style too, and the young guys looking to get into the fashion industry? I mean, what would you tell them?
If you're doing it for fame or for anything, stop. Just do it because you want to do it.
Yeah. Because the fame doesn't come easy. When it comes,
fame comes and also goes.
Right.
And if you're doing it for fame, then you won't do it with perfection. But if you're doing it with passion and goals, you'll do it to your level best. And once you're doing something with your level best, you'll find yourself elevated.
All right.
Yeah.
Of course, that was Yobi. We have come to the end of this conversation, guys. This is E-Talk, guys. Maximize your talents, maximize your creativity as youth in this country. That is exactly what Yobi is telling us. We're going on a break, but we'll be right back.